Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good morning to my beloved lecturer Dr. Mashar Nur Salsabila binti Minhad. Today we are from Group C who are Muhammad Syahmi bin Muhammad Shukri, Balkis binti Adha and Nur Anis Hanisha would like to present our proposal presentation of Maritime Research and Methodology subject. The topic that our group has chosen is the good relationship between seaport and dry port influence the efficiency of port operation. Now, I will explain about abstract. Seaport and dry port are among the factors contributing to an increase in international trade between Malaysia and other countries. The study investigates the factor that assist seaport and dry port to have nexus gap, the impact of integration between seaport and dry port in the future, and the solution for seaport and dry port to integrate in order to reach port competitiveness. Sampling technique are a technique that has been chosen for data analysis. The snowball sampling technique was used to complete this proposal. The term snowball sampling refers to the use of article by article in this research. For introduction, the concept of intermodal logistics and distribution network have made integration of the inland freight distribution system essential for an efficient container seaport system. Inland components such as dry port, which exist within the seaport system, have become important in shaping the performance and competitive strategies of container seaports. Issue in the development between dry port and seaport, which lack integration between seaport and dry port, which become the barriers for Malaysia to reach seaport competitiveness. This is due to a misunderstanding between seaport and dry port, which make it difficult for the both parties to integrate. The implication that will occur if seaport and dry port integrate in the future is will be able to move containers quickly and smoothly from the port to the hinterland for processing and stripping.
Next, I will presenting about problem statement. The concept of intermodal logistics and distribution networks have made integration of the inland freight distribution system essential for an efficient container seaport system. Therefore, the good relationship between seaport and dry port is extremely important to influence the efficiency of port operation. Besides that, there are issues in the development between dry port and seaport, which lack integration between seaport and dry port, which become the barrier for Malaysia to reach seaport competitiveness. The implication that will occur if seaport and dry port integrate in the future, will able to move containers quickly and smoothly from the port to the hinterland for processing and stripping. Owing to the importance of interdependence between seaport and dry port, therefore, the purpose of these studies was to investigate the extent seaport competitiveness can be reached when integration between both parties occurs. Next, research question. The first research question is, what is the factor that leads toward the nexus gap between seaport and dry port? Second, what is the impacts of integration between seaport and dry port in the future? Last but not least, how seaport and dry port should integrate in order to reach port competitiveness? The first objective is to investigate the factors that assist seaport and dry port to have nexus gap. Next, to study the impact of integration between seaport and dry port in the future. Last but not least, to enhance the solution for seaport and dry port to integrate in order to reach port competitiveness. Next, research significance. The first significant is there is the huge potential for both parties to integrate in order to reach seaport competitiveness with other developed countries. Next, the integration between seaport and dry port assists both parties to thrive. Last but not least, the good relationship between seaport and dry port ensure that both parties to compete while ensuring the smoothness of the port operation. The keyword in our research is seaport, dry port, efficiency, competitiveness, and integration. In literature review, I will talk about seaport. Research by Dilang in 2015 mentioned that seaport can be meaningfully analyzed with a cluster perspective. In this perspective, seaport are regarded as concentration of economic activities related to the arrival and service of ships and cargoes at ports. However, from another perspective, like Vasileva 2019 stated that seaport is a complex economic technological facilities. In the modern meaning of this concept, it is a specially built and equipped enterprise on the coast, designed for sheltering, loading or unloading and servicing of ships. Not to mention, Sarabia Jacom 2020 found that seaports are the most critical point in the maritime logistic chain because of its multimodal and complex nature. According to Noor Alam 2020, stated that seaport industry is a dynamic industry and it plays an important role in the current global commerce business. Maritime seaport also provide over 80% of global trade. Each year, the traffic supported by seaports grow by 1.4%. Seaport must be able to adapt to this ongoing increase while minimizing inefficient operations. In conclusion, seaport have a relationship with economic activities related to the arrival and service of ship and cargo in the port. Next, dry port. Research by Javan 2015 mentioned that a dry port can be defined as an inland setting with cargo handling facilities allowing several functions to be carried out. For example, consolidation and distribution, temporary storage, custom clearance, and the connection between transport modes. However, from another perspective like Craning 2015, stated that dry ports are defined as inland freight terminals directly connect to one or more seaport with high capacity transport, means where customer can drop and pick up their standardized units as if directly at a seaport. Not to mention, Laverick 2020 found that dry port is an inland intermodal terminal which has direct connection to the seaport by road or rail, and its main purpose is to provide logistic activities and transport to inland destinations. However, some Malaysian dry port had issue of low utilization of their asset leading to inefficient performance from Kahun 2015. Besides that, limitation in transport infrastructure affect a dry port's accessibility and connectivity and therefore reduce its capability to support seaport operation from Javan 2016. Even so, dry port also face several challenges which have a significant impact on their operation, often reducing the benefit from developing dry port in national or regional freight transport system from Javan 2018. However, Muravev 2016 stated that one of the most successfully type of container terminal is an intermodal terminal called a dry port. In conclusion, a dry port is an inland intermodal terminal that is physically connected to a seaport.
For efficiency, according to Benton 2020, efficiency denotes a peak level of performance in which the fewest number of inputs are used to produce the greatest amount of outputs. Efficiency entails reducing the number of unnecessary resources used to produce a given output, such as personnel time and energy. Lee Q 2020 stipulates that the role of port efficiency determines port maritime transportation costs through the use of direct and inseparable measures such as average truck turnaround time, berth utilization, and vessel turnaround time. As mentioned by Kunaka 2014, the performance of seaport hinterland connectivity is comprised of three major elements. First, the availability of multimodal transport connectivity from the seaport to the hinterland. Second, linkage with inland freight facility. And the last one, the capacity of link facilities. Mel 2012 mentioned that short distance connection is one of the solutions to integrate seaport and dry port in order to reach efficiency of port operation. This is because it requires high flexibility to access multiple destinations. Road transportation is used for relatively short distance container distribution.
Malaysia has a total 31 seaports, including 7 major federal ports, which are Port Klang, Johor Port, Port of Tanjung Pelepas, Kuantan Port, Penang Port, Bintulu Port, and Kemaman Port. Despite having seaports, Malaysia also has numerous important inland freight terminals such as Padang Besar Cargo Terminal, Ipoh Cargo Terminal, Nilai Inland Port, and Segamat Inland Port. The existence of seaport nowadays dealing with overcapacity of the container. Since 1984, dry port have been built to assist seaport operation, particularly container terminals. As container traffic in Malaysian container seaport grows, dry port have the opportunity to serve as a logistic hub for container flows. The growth of container seaport assists dry port to integrate with the seaport in order to ensure smoothness and achieve efficiency operation. By having integration between these two segments, Malaysian dry port should have enough operational infrastructure, skilled manpower, and capital infrastructure to work with container seaport and other components of the container seaport system. The cooperation between these two segments contribute to speed the seagoing route for hinterland areas, which will help to speed up the growth of hinterland-based logistics services. Dry port can effectively address the insufficient reserve land areas at seaport and serve as inland logistic linkage between trains and seaports. Competitiveness can be defined as an organization's capacity to accomplish its purpose more successfully than rival businesses. It also can be defined as an expertise of organization or company in creating and distribution product or services that exceed market quality with lower prices while maximizing profit. In this case, the integration between seaport and dry port contributes toward positive effects whereby both of them should not compete each other since they need a good cooperation in order to achieve their company's goals. This is because when seaport depend on dry port, the seaport itself can avoid traffic congestion issues while the dry port can generate revenue since seaport rent the spaces for container storage. The integration assists both of them to perform well and compete with the developed countries. Malaysian dry port contribute to the extension of container seaport services and infrastructure, reducing seaport congestion and unnecessary delays. Each dry port has added container terminals in handling container distribution both within Malaysia and for international transshipment container bound for South Asia, Cambodia, Thailand, and Vietnam. Malaysian Railway conduct daily services to some dry ports to enable freight transit to and from seaport container terminals, as well as providing rail freight infrastructure. In this research, a researcher just only used secondary data, which is from published resources. In order to complete the research objective and resolve the issue, we get the data from articles, journals, online newspapers, and formal websites. As for our research objective, the problem statement was the lack of integration between seaport and dry port become the barriers for Malaysia to reach seaport competitiveness. The data collected was significantly to investigate the factors that assist seaport and dry port to have nexus gap. We use secondary data to know what is the major factor that leads them to not having an integration among them. Despite the factors, there is an impact either positive or negative that has been carried out from the research if seaport and dry port become integrated in the future. Basically, there are more positive impact as compared to the negative side. The secondary data help us to study the impact and also suggest the best solution for seaport and dry port to integrate in order to reach port competitiveness. This research moved forward to the positive side as it allows both parties to get the opportunity for them to be the benchmark for other countries. For the data analysis step, we currently use sampling technique. The sampling technique that was used in order to complete this proposal was snowball sampling. Snowball sampling refers to the use of article by articles that are involved in this research. For example, we find one article, then we explore the next article by looking at the bibliography of the first article that related with the topic. For references, we refer to more than 15 articles that related to the topic. The total articles that we use in this proposal reach about 18 articles, all the articles being used by us in order to achieve and elaborate the research objective. We significantly generate the idea from articles, online newspapers, and formal websites.